and welcome to BLAXIT to Africa. I am your host, Toddre Monier, a California native living her best life in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you so much for coming along for the ride. I hope that you are informed, entertained, and inspired to BLAXIT to Africa. We are so excited in Kenya that we finally gotten some rain, so I do want to apologize to my listeners if at some point throughout the recording you hear some noise in the background. That's just rain, the much needed rain that we have been praying for in Kenya. Welcome back to BLAXIT to Africa. I'm really excited to have a guest. This is Jackie. And Jackie is Kenyan, and she is my guest. And we were just lying around the house watching Nairobi Housewives. And I was like, okay, let's do this episode. I've had it in my phone for quite some time, this topic of American English versus Kenyan English. So as you probably know, navigating around a country that's new to you, you need to understand the language. And English is a national language in Kenya, but sometimes the vernacular, like, it trips you up a little bit. So I wanted to do an episode to focus on the differences between Kenyan English and American English. And just to give you a little bit about Jackie, because she's not for these cameras, and I really had to cajole her to come on camera. But Jackie is Kenyan, and she also works in the tech industry, and we are so lucky to have her here today.
I'm happy to be here.
So I just wanted to take a moment away from the interview to remind you all that I do offer consultation services. The purpose of BLAXIT to Africa is to encourage people of African descent to return to the motherland. Whether you're someone like myself who has been separated for hundreds of years, or you're somebody who was born on the continent and you're making your point in the global north. Bring your talents, bring your resources back home. So for that reason, I do offer consultation services. People are always asking me how I did it. I've been coming to Africa since the age of 18. I'm now damn near 50. I've got a lot of experience to share, and I have been living in East Africa for the past 5 years. If you can't figure it out, let's put our heads together and let me help you figure it out. So book a consultation with me by DMing me through Instagram. Okay, so.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited about this. Okay.
How this is going to work is I'm going to say an American English word, and then we'll see if Jackie understands and can give us the Kenyan English equivalent. Let's see. Okay.
Okay.
Cookie.
I think a cookie would be a biscuit.
Okay.
You have a biscuit in America, which is totally something else, I'm sure.
Right. I think in the UK they would probably call it like a scone. But for us, let me tell you something. I don't think a scone and a biscuit is the same
It's
thing.
not the same?
The way Black people make biscuits, like a biscuit is buttery, it's soft, it might be a little flaky on the outside and soft on the inside, and it's like a breakfast. Some people do eat it like for dinner, but you know, where the household I grew up in, biscuits was for breakfast.
Okay.
Whether it was Bisquick, whether it was Pillsbury, or you making it from scratch. And that's something that used to confuse me. I'm like, what is a biscuit? And then you give me a cookie without all the fixings, as she said.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you come to Kenya, know that when they say biscuit, they mean like a plain cookie. Okay, gasoline.
We would just say like petrol, right? Petrol. Yeah.
As in petroleum.
Yeah, petroleum, yeah.
Okay. Elevator.
Lift. It's lift. You don't say elevators most of the time, it's lift. It's even easier to say.
A lift.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so very British English.
Yeah, and a lift could also be a ride. So also means something else. Yeah.
Eraser.
Rubber.
Okay, well, we know what rubber means.
I
in the
know,
US.
I know.
Rubber is
Everybody
a
knows.
prophylactic. Do they still use the word rubber? But definitely 90s hip hop,
Yeah.
rubber was mentioned
Yeah.
in the lyrics. Okay, trash.
Garbage.
Okay. Give me another word for trash.
I would say garbage or junk, trash. I don't know.
Taka taka in
Taka
Swahili.
is Swahili, but then in English we just say garbage.
Okay, so I have here rubbish. A lot of people that I meet in Kenya will call trash rubbish.
Yes.
The rubbish bin. Okay.
Yeah, rubbish bin, yeah.
Soccer.
Football, that's what it is.
Oh my God, Jackie!
Americans need to stop. Don't come for me, just respectfully.
I feel you, because you do use your feet.
Right, so it's football.
Somebody, I guess I could Google that. How did we come to call football soccer?
Yeah. We need a whole research about that, yeah.
French fries.
Chips.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Apartments.
It could be a flat, right? It could be an apartment still, and it could be. I think flat is very South African. I think I'm bringing that into this because I live there, but people would say apartment. I think.
Girl, the name of my place is something flats.
Yeah, so there's flats, but then these days people actually say apartment.
It's Americanized.
Yeah.
Now you have Kenyan English becoming more Americanized. She's very well traveled. Okay, so I feel like if I was speaking to someone who wasn't as well traveled, they would probably say flats. But I do want to go back to chips.
Mm-hmm.
Because we call potato chips
Yeah.
exactly. Wait, we call potato chips, and you guys call potato chips crisps.
Crisps, yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I went somewhere, and this little boy had some potato chips, and he was like, "What are these?" And I was like, "Potato chips," and he was like, "No." And then I remember, "Oh, crisps."
Yeah.
So okay, that's a little interesting. All right, so a hood.
Hoodie. I would say hoodie or jumper.
Or a jumper. Okay.
Oh, you mean yeah.
You would say jumper.
Okay. Jumper or hoodie.
The trunk of a car.
It's a boot.
Why is it a boot?
It's a boot. That's what it is. It's a boot.
Why is it a boot?
I don't know. I didn't even think about any other word for it. It's a boot.
So my dad was here, and I know he heard me using this Kenyan English, and he was very adamant about, I'm not a tourist, I'm just here. But I know he heard me using this English and was like, she didn't grow up talking like this. Mm-hmm. So we took Ubers everywhere, and I was just like, oh, okay, can you pop the boot?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Faucet.
A faucet. You mean like the sink, right? Or like the tap, right?
The tap. That's the answer I'm looking for.
Okay.
I think we also use that in the U.S. in some parts of the country.
Okay.
A truck is called?
A lorry.
Why is it called a lorry?
I don't know. Ask the British. They were here. Ask them. Okay, it's a lorry. I think even in the UK they probably say lorry.
They probably do.
Probably. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Semi-truck. We use semi-truck, pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would you call a vacation?
Holiday.
A holiday.
Yeah.
So for us, a holiday or a holy day would just be, a day on the calendar.
Yeah.
But a vacation is, your scheduled time off.
Mm-hmm.
Napkin.
Serviette.
Why is it a serviette?
Actually sounds nicer, right?
It does sound nice.
Yeah.
I think Trevor Noah, he did a stand-up where he talked about those differences.
Yeah.
Serviettes.
Sounds very serviette.
What would you call a popsicle?
Oh my god, what's the name? Oh my god. I just went to the Swahili name actually, so I would.
What's the Swahili name?
Like barafu.
Barafu.
Yeah, so it's like a, yeah. I don't even know the English word. Oh my god.
You don't know? Okay, so
It would be,
in Uganda they
Yeah.
say ice lolly.
oh, ice lolly. Because we have barafu, so normally it's like in a little like a plastic, like bag, really thin plastic bag. Then they freeze the colored or like flavored like water inside, and then it's like your popsicle. We don't have mostly like in a
Like a push up.
yeah,
like
but you
that.
can get those in the supermarket like ice cream,
Yeah.
popsicles, whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
What did we used to call those? Not freeze ices, but it was just like sugar colored water.
Yeah.
Colored sugar water in a
Yeah.
packet, and you just rip it off, and so you call those barafus.
Barafu,
Okay.
yeah.
What would you call a sucker or a lollipop?
Lollipop.
I've heard people say lolly
Yeah.
or lolly. Lolly.
Oh yeah, but I think that comes from like it's like slang, sheng, right? Loli.
Oh.
It's like it's probably slang. It's probably slang, but like the English word, I think it's just lollipop. We just say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we have a few differences here. We're gonna move right along to clothing. There are a few things about clothing that still confuse me.
Yeah.
Let's see how good I am. There are a lot of people who want to BLAXIT to Africa. They just want a BLAXIT period, whether they want to leave the United States or the Americas, they want to leave Europe, the Caribbean, etc. There are so many ways to do it. And a lot of people ask me, how am I able to support myself? There's so many answers to this question, but one of the ways I do it is through Airbnb Experiences. So some of you know that I offer an eclectic fashion tour in Nairobi. So I implore you to book this fashion tour. If you happen to be in Nairobi, whether you are born and raised, whether you are visiting just on a holiday, I am available to show you my favorite parts of Nairobi, from low end to high end and everything in between. You're able to book this experience through Airbnb Experiences, and I'm looking forward to having you.
So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and you better get these right.
I
'cause
got
You've
it.
been here for a minute. You've been here for a minute.
Okay.
What's a jumper?
A jumper.
Yeah.
A jumper it's a sweater.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. Okay. What are trousers?
Pants.
Okay. Good. Trainers.
Sneakers, gym shoes.
Okay. We also use the word sneakers.
Okay.
Yeah. What's a vest?
A vest is like what we would call like a wife beater or a boy beater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
And sandals.
Flip-flops or sandals.
Okay. What about what's a coat?
A coat is a coat.
Yeah. Oh, come on. So I know you know what a coat is, but what is the equivalent word for a coat? Like, cause
Like an overcoat?
yeah, like if I said, let me grab my coat. What do I mean? Like
Maybe
what am I
a
gonna get?
jacket, a lightweight jacket?
Right. Yeah,
Okay, got
yeah,
you.
Yeah. And if I said something like costume, like what would I be referring to?
Y'all, they call swimsuits costumes, swimming costumes.
A swimming costume, right?
Yeah, swimming
Yeah.
costumes.
Yeah.
Bikini,
Bikini, yeah.
swimsuit.
Yeah. It's a swimsuit. Yeah. Okay. Let's try something different. Let's try expressions.
Okay.
Are you gonna get these right? Because you did good in the other questions, right? You actually did well. Okay. first one. What does imagine? What does that mean?
Can you use it in a sentence?
Okay. That girl went behind my back. Imagine.
Like, can you believe this shit?
Exactly.
Can you believe this? It's usually said with like a lot of just drama and extraness, like, imagine she had me walking up and down. And it's like, okay, I feel you, girl. I can imagine.
Okay. How about, this is very peculiar to Kenyans. If I ask you, are we together?
Okay, are we together? Use it in a sentence.
And it's not, are we together? It's like, you need to do this quick. You need to, oh my God, I'm sorry. You need to work on this paperwork quickly. Are we together?
Oh my God, it's like, are we together? Okay, so sometimes it can be said very like rudely. It's like, are we together? Like, do you get me? Do you understand? Are we on the same page?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it can also be said very gently.
Right.
You know, like a teacher might say that, like, are we together? Are we on the same page?
Mm-hmm.
But I like that one. Are we together? Okay.
Okay. One word. Are you okay?
That one gets me every
Yeah.
time because I know it's shade. Like it's just like it's like light shade because Kenyans are pretty polite compared to Americans. So it's just like, say it again.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Have you lost your
Have
damn
you
mind?
look? Have you lost
Exactly.
your mind? Are you okay?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's very like loaded. I like it. Yeah. What about? I love this. I just love this. This one. How about? What?
Wow.
What? You have to say it with like with it has to be that dramatic. What?
What? Okay, use it in a sentence.
This place is expensive. What? What do I mean? Yeah.
I've never heard that one. Also, let me guess. This is very expensive. What? Like, can you believe it?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I use it. Sometimes I find myself using it a lot in Nairobi.
Okay.
Right. So if maybe or someone says something just unbelievable, you're like, what? You know, it's kind of like a damn. You know, but it's more dramatic.
Like, I'm in shock. Like,
yeah,
damn.
I'm in shock. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I use it like, oh, he's really fine. What? Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. You can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
How about? Although this, I would argue this is used in Uganda as well. Like, you get.
Yes. It's like, you get me. Do you get me? You feel me?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know what? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. You get.
Yeah. Okay, there's one more. I just want to make sure you have your whole East African, lingo on lock, right?
Okay.
So, if I said banange, what does that mean? It's not Kenyan, but I just want to check. Right?
Yeah. Okay. So banange. This is all together Ugandan.
Yeah.
Use it in a sentence.
Banange, can't pay this bill.
It's another like shock value. Like, oh my goodness. Oh, OMG. I can't believe banange.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's another one. Okay, we're focusing on Kenya, but now it's coming back to me. What about this one from Uganda? Bambi. I love that one. That one is so sweet. Bambi.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't remember what it is. What is it?
It's like my sweetie. It's like how we would say in the U.S. like, bless your heart.
Oh.
You know, bless her heart without the shade though. It's just like, Bambi, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Oh, Bambi, you're so sweet. Okay, okay. There's what?
I've just thought of one more. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Okay.
Someone might say something like, "Woye."
Woye.
Yeah.
Woye, woye. Use that in
It
a
comes from
sentence.
like it's sort of like maybe slang maybe.
Is it shang?
I think so. Yeah. Please don't come for me. Yes. Yes, it is. But it has a connection to what we just talked about right now.
Woye. Okay, so
Woye.
okay, so that's also like sweetie. Like I'm endeared towards you.
No, it's sort of like this is really hard to explain. So it's like you're saying, oh my god, like I'm so sorry. Like it's like you're feeling sorry, like the way you would say, oh, bless her heart, but then it's like
Woye.
something similar.
Woye.
Oh my god, don't come for me. I feel like I'm okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Just explain. So shang it's a slang here in Kenya. It varies by region. It keeps changing.
Absolutely.
The young people own it. The shang that they was using in the 90s is not the shang of today. That's why I don't bother trying to learn it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So I think I was trying to think of like a Nairobi or maybe like a Kenyan equivalent of like saying Bambi. Something like that. I would say that, yeah. But it sounds very sweet, Bambi, when someone says it.
Bambi.
Like,
I love that. Okay, okay.
yeah. I think that was the last one.
No, there's another one. It's guy. Okay, so I'm not so sure about guy, but I hear it. Okay, spell it for me, please, and then use it in a sentence.
It actually is. It's not Swahili. It's not English. It's actually Kikuyu. It's like for me, like the first time I heard it was mostly from Kikuyu. Like a lot of slang is either from English words or from like vernacular. So guy would be like, it's like, I would let me try use it in a sentence, and then you can guess.
Okay.
Guy, you're doing this to me.
I can't believe you're doing this.
Exactly.
Guy, I can't believe this. I'm in shock. So I've heard a few people use it on the streets.
Yeah.
And then I went and saw a play at the Nairobi National Theater, and the guy, one of the actors said, "Guy," and then everyone started laughing. So I could infer what he meant, but I didn't know it was a Kikuyu word.
It can also be used in a sarcastic way.
Okay.
Like, guy, why are you having all that food? You know, like, oh my god, you need to stop, right? Like it could be used in a. It's such a flexible word, right? So that's why I said that. Like Kenyan slang, sometimes it comes from English words, Swahili, or from vernacular words.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's so many different ethnic groups in Kenya. Would you say that Shang is a mashup of all these different languages from the different ethnic groups?
Most of them, like the major, like the major tribes, or like the major communities that are represented in the city, especially. You'll hear, because like the city has different people from all parts of the country. You'll hear a word like Omera, which is like Luo, from and that it's something that can be used in slang, but that is slang from back in the day, right? I don't know what they're calling people nowadays, right? And then you could hear a word like gai, or maybe a Swahili word, so yeah.
Okay. So before we go, there's one more thing that I do want to cover, and I think that this can be said to be true in UG as well as Kenya. Like, y'all will be telling a story, and then you'll stop and pause just to see, like, to make sure I'm listening, but you want me to fill in the blank. But me, I'm listening. So I'm just there. And then you pause. And then you're waiting for me to respond. And I'm just there like, finish telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
So
you need to make sure you're together with the storyteller.
Okay,
right?
okay. So let's give them an example. You
Okay.
start.
Okay, cool. Let me think of a good example. So I could start telling Toddre something like, so I went to the supermarket, right? Yeah. So,
Okay.
exactly. And I went and I bought this you see that
Mango?
yeah, that mango that they sell close to the the first aisle. Yeah.
Okay.
But this conversation is actually happening in either Swahili or slang, right? It's actually more often that someone would do that because like you're trying to engage the person talking to you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't want to just be telling the story. You want the person to actually participate in the story. That's why you leave the little blanks for the person to make sure they actually with you, So it's very peculiar to us, and I love it. Yeah.
I like it too. That just like, it makes the story more suspenseful. And then now I know, like, I really need to be actively listening and participating.
Or you'll miss out.
But no shade at all. Just different forms of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. So thank you so much for joining us for this brief episode of BLAXIT to Africa. That's it for us today. I hope, again, that you are inspired, entertained, and informed to BLAXIT to Africa.